Hey everyone, today I'm going to be talking about a mentality that has been taking model rareting by storm. Recently, as in the past couple of years, there's been a lot of talk about the model railroading hobby is dying, and I made a video on this maybe half a year ago, and it got incredibly popular, and I think it influenced a good amount of people, but I wasn't super happy with it, and I wasn't specific with it. I didn't narrow down what I had to say. I don't think I thought it all the way through. I would have definitely made it different if I had made it now. But I just sort of wanted to make a more organic video, just with my own thoughts about a lot of the recent mentalities that I think have been gaining a lot of traction in the hobby. There's two words that I'm going to be using in this video that are imperative to sort of understanding it, which would be Doomers and Futilists, which are descriptive words. A Doomer is just someone who preaches doom about something. I think that's all I have to say. Like, in this context, it would be the kind of person who says just straight the model railroad hobby is dying. And then Futilists, this mentality would say the model railroad hobby is dying and there's nothing that we can do about it. The first sort of big thing that I want to say before I continue is this hobby is only dying if we say it's dying. A lot of people like to act like it's the cold hard truth that the hobby is dying. Like, I don't like it either, but it's dying. But honestly, that's absolutely not true. As long as there's people out there enjoying model trains to some degree, it's never going to die. The form that the hobby's taken has changed over the years, obviously, but I am very doubtful that it's going to die. One thing about these mentalities that sort of irks me, that kind of more personally frustrates me, is that these mentalities sort of infer that there is no future to the hobby, obviously. Like, they straight up say it's dying, it's going to die soon, or it's already dead. And, I mean, the points that it's already dead are the stupidest of them all, because there are still people out there running their model trains and posting videos about it and talking about it, so obviously it's not already dead. Now, to get back to what personally bothers me, I'm not old. I'm not really that old in this hobby. I'm definitely among the younger section. I am in my teens. I'm not retired. I haven't even joined the workforce yet. And I feel like I'm not the only one. I mean, I know I'm not the only one. There are a few good friends that I have that are into this hobby. And there's plenty of people on the internet that are around my age that partake in this hobby around the United States, around the world. I'm specifically talking about the United States here. But I think, honestly, the fact is there's still younger people in the hobby. And you could point to statistics that say, oh, well, isn't the majority of the hobby older people? And indeed it is. Indeed it is. And I think we all know what that means. It means that at some point those older people won't be with us, and, well, then no one's going to be in the hobby. I seriously doubt that no one's going to be in the hobby. I mean, I exist. Honestly, I think as long as I'm alive, I'm going to like model railroads, whether I participated in it or not. And I think as long as I can sustain having a collection and maybe a layout, I'm going to be into model railroading. And I think a lot of people have brought up this fact that something can't be dead if it's still happening. If it's still alive, it can't be dead. I think that that's pretty obvious. I think one thing that a lot of people have brought up is that the hobby is changing. It's been changing for years, and I think it's all sort of come to a head recently. And I think part of this change is the shift from the older previous generations of model railroading to sort of the more recent generations of model railroading. The focus might be less on nostalgia and more on the here and now. Not discounting history, but per se having more of a fascination with it. One of the things that I've noticed a lot of people say is the model railroad hobby is dying because young people these days don't want to do it. They don't want to do physical things. They would rather sit on their phone all day, or they would rather play video games all day. And you know what? I have news for you. I play video games frequently. I play them almost every day and for decent amounts of time every day. And look, I still have a model railroad. I still spend time working on this layout. And guess what games I play? Sometimes train games. Not all the time, obviously, because that would just be too much train in my life, but I'm still interested. There's still plenty of ways you can engage in the hobby, I guess in a different form, on the internet. And that sort of ties in with another part of the hobby that I think will sort of bring it forward into the future, and that is the internet. Obviously now, I think model railroad enthusiasts are a lot more spread out. So the only practical means of frequent communication would be via the internet. And, well, me right here as an example, I'm using YouTube, a platform on the internet, to talk to other model railroad enthusiasts. And, I mean, these videos do get views, so that does show that, yeah, there's a decent amount of us out there. Now, again, this is not to discredit the insane amount of people that were in the hobby from around the 50s to the 70s, which I think was sort of the hobby age of the community. And today, I think the hobby is undergoing some more changes. So I guess to restate why I think the hobby is fine and these doomers and feudalists are wrong is, one, there's obviously people still in this hobby. The hobby is not dead. It won't be dead for a while. And two, there are plenty of younger people in the hobby that will very much likely continue to have interest in this hobby. And I am a living example of this. I think there's no better evidence to put forth than the existence of someone in this hobby. And three, the online community is strong and it's getting stronger. I'm finding new channels all the time that may cater to my specific interests in model railroading. And just to make one last point, trains in general are always going to be popular. And I think they might even get more popular in the North American context, as I think the school of thought has been changing back to realizing that trains are pretty damn good. So that's kind of my thoughts. I feel like this video needed to be made. I don't know. That's really all I have to say, but thanks for watching it, and I'll see you soon.